Now, previously on Morning Footy, let's remind ourselves, shall we, about what one person in the studio said about Real Madrid's chances and if they could win La Liga.
Of the three sides, Real Madrid aren't going to win La Liga. Let's just.
Are we
3 points out. How can you say that?
Yeah,
how can you say that definitively?
In one sentence, you just turned around and said
they're a side. They're a side.
Ancelotti is raising his eyebrows.
They're a side right now that is not deep enough to compete on multiple fronts.
Okay.
They will value the Champions League. Carlo Ancelotti, we've seen that time and time again. What they don't do in La Liga, they do in the UEFA Champions League.
So, Lahoud, where do you sit now? Do you still think?
Well, I just want to say that there's still water in my coffee. There's nothing stronger than that. But I still stand by this.
Okay.
Look,
why?
In the standings, it says Real Madrid not first, second. Barcelona.
Level on points.
Level on points, but Barcelona still have that game in hand, and we'll get to them in a bit. But this is a Madrid side that what they showed a bit of that championship pedigree for about 60 minutes. How that match ended in the second half, I still was left wanting a bit more. They got the result. Credit to them. Atleti, they've left their lines. But the title is not decided right now. The title will be decided for them in April. When you look at their schedule in April, the further they go in the Champions League, if they get by Atleti, the fixture date and fixture congestion that's really pinching Atleti in the backside right now could pinch Real Madrid. They have the likes of Athletic Club, tricky fixture against Celta Vigo, and let's not forget that they have El Clasico, which Barcelona, they have made mincemeat of Carlin Ancelotti's side. But it's going to go the distance. I've always said this is going to go the distance, so I don't diverge from what I said originally.
But they get it done. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Real Madrid find ways to win, whether it's with Mbappe up top or Vinny Jr. Even if there are moments and stretches throughout games where you think, okay, the other team could have a chance. Even in this one against Rayo Vallecano, I was like, okay, they should be scoring one or two of these other ones. But Real Madrid always find a way. They come in clutch when they need to. And that's what happens in a title race.
And that was kind of my point, too, that, like, you're saying it's going to go the distance, but saying Real Madrid have no chance. Those two things cannot coexist. You can say Barcelona or Atlético Madrid is your pick for the title. That's totally fine. To suggest when they were 3 points out of the lead that it was over, that they're not going to win, there's no chance. And to still say that now today, one, I guess I respect committing to it. 10 toes down, that's my glue. I love
Maybe
it.
that's it.
I'll give you that. But to suggest that they're done or they're not going to do it or they can't, is just disingenuous.
Yeah, I think that, one, it's called taking a stance, and we do that here at the desk, especially on Morning Footy. So you know when you see me on the schedule, you know when you see me on the show, you will always get someone who takes a stance for right or for wrong. That's never going to change.
Prime example.
That's never going to change.
But also, if you look at like the form that Kylian Mbappe are in, Vinny Jr., that partnership, and they played as a top two last night, do you think that's where it suits them best?
I think that what really surprised me in the last month and a half, what they need to keep in terms of form and consistency has actually always been in the middle of the park. You lose Dani Ceballos, Aurelien Tchouameni looked like a world beater, looked much more like the player we saw signed from Monaco, and he's a player that's taken a lot of heat. His ability to dictate the game, I mean, his ability to just ride tackles, but also be a deep-lying playmaker, that balance of him and Luka Modric, where they've gotten it wrong in La Liga, Carlo Ancelotti, the selections he's made in the middle of the park, that's where he's gotten it wrong. Luka Modric should be the guy. I don't care if he's 39 years old, 40 years old, 99 years old. He is aging like fine wine. And if Ancelotti gets it right with his midfield selections, then there's a potential chance for them to finish second. But I still stand by it because when it comes to La Liga, there's this distraction from these players where they play in spurts. And they do get the job done this weekend. But mark my words, come April, we will find out about the character and the focus of this Madrid side because you have to choose. We see teams all around European football right now choose. The further they go in the Champions League, we've seen in the history of this club, they prioritize European football. This is their trophy. So I think that will be the big distraction for them in the end.
Lisa, let's also talk about Atletico Madrid. A bit of an upset over the weekend against Getafe, especially bearing in mind they've got such a huge week coming up. They've got Real Madrid in the last 16 second leg. That's on Wednesday. Then Barcelona, that top of the table clash on Sunday. So a surprise defeat and a real setback, I suppose, for Diego Simeone.
This match, to me, said that Atletico Madrid was looking ahead to the week because the mistakes that they made in this game came down to mental lapses and to not being turned on in really important, crucial moments in a game when usually they are. I mean, it was a tough game. The first highlight, I think, comes in like the 70th minute. So already they were luring us to sleep, luring themselves to sleep during this match. But the 2 goals ultimately that came against Atletico Madrid came from mental lapses. The red card, which, okay, you get a red card, but then they're mentally checked out. It's a quick restart and a quick play, and they capitalized on it. Meanwhile, for the second goal, it was terrible defending. They fell apart. They weren't man marking. They didn't step to the ball. Normand fell asleep, and he didn't step, which kept him onside, and that also led to the goal. So the 2 mistakes that were made that led to the goals that Atleti conceded, it came down to the fact that they were looking ahead to the other matches that are to come this week.
Uncharacteristic from an Atletico Madrid team. Like, those 2 goals just don't happen in the last few minutes of the game. That doesn't happen. It doesn't matter that they were down a man. Obviously, the red card came late. They see that game out with the defenders, with the structure, with everything else that they have, the world-class goalkeeper, and again, incredible defenders, the mindset, everything that we love about Cholo Simeone. That doesn't happen. This is an atypical result, an atypical few minutes for an Atletico Madrid team that, again, like the title was won and lost on margins. This is a game that they didn't play particularly well. They got outshot, outpossessed, everything else. That was fine. They had the lead. They got the goal off the bench, like as they have done so many times this season, but they didn't see it out.
In terms of Atletico Madrid, their next 4 games, we just saw that there. So, Tom, how tough is this period going to be for Atletico?
It's incredibly tough, and they've done really, really well all season at rotating, at making use of the larger squad that they have. They have so many good players, particularly in the attacking end. If Rodrigo de Paul can't go midweek, that's huge for their Champions League chances. Like that could finish them there. But they're going to have still Copa del Rey, second leg. They have La Liga games. It's going to be completely packed. And the way that they've rotated should help them, but it should have helped them this weekend.
Yeah, we need to talk about the manager, Cholo Simeone, because we talk about rotations, and he's gotten his rotations right. In-game management. What I was disappointed was his team selection. This was a match made for Alexander Sorloth. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys recognize that when he came on the field, you just saw this Getafe side go, whoa, wait a second. This guy is built different. He's, I'm going to make up a height, 6'5", 6'10", but he's big is what I'm saying. And he has the physical capacity to ride challenges. Antoine Griezmann, the likes of Julian Alvarez, there wasn't a lot of space for them to operate. They need space to operate between the lines. And Getafe, they marked them out of the game. And when you get the lead, and it leads me to the point about, mismanaging moments, the likes of Angel Correa, who has bailed out this Atleti side time and time again. A moment of madness is one thing, but I go to players like Thomas Lemar. What the hell is Thomas Lemar? First of all, how the hell is he back on the team? And what the hell is he doing on that set-piece play? Those type of players let Cholo and Atleti fans down. They need to get it right in the second leg against Madrid.
So quickly, who are you backing to win La Liga? Lahoud first.
Still Atleti.
Lisa?
I'm going to go Real Madrid.
Tom?
I'll go Barcelona today.
Okay, let's see. I think.
Who do you think?
I think Real Madrid.
Oh, don't do it.
I think they always come good come the end of the season.
Go.
We know what they can do in the Champions League, and I think maybe they may do it in the Liga.